Learning a language is not as hard as you think.
I want you to show me how to get to know someone like you, someone like you.
Have you ever wanted to learn a language, and have you ever said to yourself, I wish I could learn another language? A lot of people say this to me, and as a language enthusiast, I have a secret that a lot of language enthusiasts have, a lot of polyglots have, and that is that learning a language is not as hard as you think. But there are some definite steps that you need to take to learn any language. If you take these steps, then you can make progress really fast. Yes, it will take work. There is no way to learn a language without struggling a little bit. So I'm going to tell you some things that I do from my personal experience that can speed up the language learning process. Number one is that before you even start to learn a language, look around your community. Look around your community, and if there is a foreign language that is spoken in your community, why not decide to learn that foreign language? The advantage to this is that you have someone to talk to, obviously. So what you want to do is ask that person how to say things in their language. Ask them to say things that you are actually going to use. Like, hello, how are you? My name is, what's your name? Where are you from? Practice. Practice and practice more. The phrases that you have learned, you want to practice them over and over again. What I like to do is I put my phrases on my cell phone in my Anki app. When I have a few minutes during the day, I just review them at random times during the day, but I make sure that I'm always reviewing what I'm learning so that it sticks, so that I can actually remember what I am learning. You try to switch out some of the verbs and the nouns so that you have more sentences. For example, I like ice cream. If you switch the subject of that sentence and the verb, then you can make another sentence, such as John hates dogs. Yeah, you can switch the subject, the verb, and also the object, and you have a totally new sentence. So you can do this in any language if you know the order of the language. Ask the person who taught you the sentence, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? What does this word mean? Locate the subject, the object, and the verb, and switch them out. Some languages there may be a slight change to, for example, the verb, if it's talking about a male or a female, or there may be a different word for a certain subject. If you say these things to a native speaker, they will correct you. So don't worry about the details of the grammar yet. So now we come to grammar. Grammar is one of those things that kind of divides people. Some people love it and others hate it. There's hardly anything in between. I was in school taking English class. I did not like grammar, but now I love grammar because grammar is actually the key to unlocking languages for me. I want to use grammar books as a reference. Do not use the grammar book as a phrase book because it will discourage you and you will get bored to death and you will not want to study the language. Use grammar to help you to understand the things that you are already learning. Work your way through the grammar book, but you don't have to work all the way through the grammar book. Work through it a little bit at a time and then move on to other things that are helping you to actually use the language in real life. Grammar book will become so much more valuable to you if you do it this way. You definitely want to get a dictionary in your target language. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. The key is that if you have this dictionary available, and now you can get an app or whatever, the key is that you can actually look up words when you're out. So if you want to know a word for drive or car or whatever, you can look that word up. And it will become so much more valuable to you because that word actually will have meaning for you in real life. Have as much contact with the language as possible. So don't just try to speak the language, but learn about the culture. Language and culture are linked. You want to learn about the people. What do they look like? How can you identify them? What kind of clothing do they wear? There's something in every culture that you can look at the person and know, okay, this person is from this country or that country because of the way that they dress or the things that you see them buying, so that you can see them when you're out and about and you can talk to them. You can ask them to help you. They love this kind of thing. People love it when you try to make the effort to communicate with them. So don't be afraid. Learn about the music, listen to the music, watch TV series, watch movies. Try to listen to the language as much as possible because this will help your speaking. You will learn to understand when people are talking to you. When people are talking to you, you will understand them because you have been listening to the language and getting so much input that it will become almost like second nature to you when you hear people speaking fast. Another thing that you can do is just change your phone to the language. Now, if this language is very, very different from your own, like for example, if you speak English and you're learning Mandarin, it would be difficult to change your phone to Mandarin. Then again, it would be a nice challenge to help you to learn those characters for the things that you want to access on your phone. And when you change your phone, also, if you have a Google account, then everything else will be in that language if that is a language that Google uses. Change my phone to Spanish and everything is in Spanish. Even commercials and all kinds of things I get in Spanish. Also, you want to talk as much as possible. So I hear a lot of people say, I don't have opportunities to talk. There really is no excuse for not having opportunities to use the language. There are apps like Hello Talk, where you can talk to native speakers. There's Hi Native, where you can ask questions of native speakers. You can talk to yourself. Yes, you can talk to yourself. It's okay. It actually works. You can talk to yourself just by narrating your day, things that you're doing in the moment. Give yourself little projects, things to describe, maybe to just translate a song or song lyrics, or maybe just one line. Also, there's also all sorts of language challenges that you can do online that involve daily talking and recording yourself. Whatever it takes, make sure that you are constantly in contact with the language. Read, listen to music, and try to sing along with it. Use the language as much as possible. Use it every day. Question is, if you do all of these things, how long will it take you to learn a language and to speak it fluently? I cannot answer that for you because that all depends on the effort that you put into each step. You decide that you are going to just put your all into it, then you can learn a language and speak it at a conversational level and have nice basic conversations in a few weeks. Perhaps in a year you could speak fluently, but that is up to you. There are no caps on how far you can go with a language and how long it will take. It all depends on the effort that you are willing to put in. So let me know if these tips helped you guys. I would love to hear about it in the comments. I would love to hear about what you're doing to try to make progress in a language. And go ahead and subscribe if you love these kinds of videos, because I will be doing more. Happy language learning.